Welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes with Attitudes. That's right. That's right. And as always, I am the dude of Wrestle Talk, Mr. MWO. And with me, as always, is your honorary dude, Shooting Star Press. What's going on, dude?
I like that, the honorary dude. We need a shirt that says that. I have my honorary, I have the honorary ooh shirt, which this might be the last time I can wear this shirt, unfortunately.
Well, it's a class, but that's why I thought that, right? The dude of Wrestle Talk, the honorary dude. I mean, I don't want to demean, like, you're not beneath it, but I thought, you know, you got the Sammy look.
It works.
Honorary Oos is dead.
We can do one of those like TikToks where you tell me to take my shirt off and I do it, and then you hand me a new shirt and it's the
honorary dude.
I think that would be awesome.
All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We got to do something.
Woo!
What's up,
wrestling guy wants us to scissor him, so I am doing the scissoring, everyone out there in wrestling world. But what is up? What is up to all our Two Dudes Wolf Pack? We got our new name for our crew, the Two Dudes Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
I was named at our watch along. If you tuned in, we appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in for the Rumble. We had a lot of fun. We talked a lot of wrestling. We drank a lot of beers, and we had a good time, and it was a good event. And so we appreciate everybody who watched it, and the over hundreds of people who watched afterwards too. So on Twitch and YouTube. So we appreciate you guys, right, Shooting Star?
Yeah, it was a fun night. It was a good time. I thought we had like you said, we had a good turnout. Good. The chat was good. Everyone was lively. Everybody was positive. It made for a fun time. So we'll be doing that again here soon.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
yes, sir. Well, definitely for Elimination Chamber, and
definitely for Mania. Maybe for Mania. I don't know. Maybe we'll be in person.
I can't do it Mania. I'll be there. So either way, we'll see.
Maybe I'll be there too.
We'll see if the honorary dude will be there or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But we have a busy day today, obviously.
Yes.
We've decided that since Rumble happened, we're going to go ahead and skip through our SmackDown stuff. We did have a couple things happen in SmackDown this week in our WWE Week in Review. Because remember, it is WWE Wednesday, but not enough that it's really going to make the difference of whether we talk about it or not. So if you checked it out, check it out. There was one thing I think Shooting Star wanted to quickly bring up about the tag team match, because they had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were supposed to wrestle against Hit Row. They get injured and beat up in the back. You would think that would mean Hit Row was going to advance, right? That was like their way out of giving Hit Row the win. It did not happen. And then somebody made surprises the next night. So Shooting Star, if you wanted to bring it up right quick.
Yeah. So as MWO mentioned, Sheamus and McIntyre were taken out by the Viking Raiders right after their entrance, before the match even really started. And, you know, they were selling the kayfabe injury of McIntyre and Sheamus, that they're too hurt to compete. They can't go after, they're not going to be able to wrestle in the match tonight. And then on the next night in the Rumble, both guys were completely healthy and participated in the Royal Rumble. And there's no Viking Raiders in the Royal Rumble either, which it was just a really bizarre scene. And they were replaced by Braun Strowman and Ricochet, who essentially just got a first round bye in the tournament now, and they won. So now they're in the finals. And I don't know what the point of that was, what the purpose of that was, but you know, that was the biggest thing for me on SmackDown from Friday.
Yeah, it was weird stuff, and who knows now where this tag team tournament's even going. So all sorts of ways we can go now, which we'll go into with our Royal Rumble review. So here we are, man. Royal Rumble, man. What a show. And, you know, I think the best part of this Royal Rumble, before we get into it, is which I had to say, was that we were talking about all the different scenarios that could happen in the Women's Rumble, in the Men's Rumble, the way the main event was going to end. And everywhere through social media, through people we've talked to, what's going on? Arrow 23, what's good? What's good? My man. And we were saying this, and I said, and I think you agreed, that no matter what happens, we're going to get a ton of fans who are going to say it was predictable. Everything after the fact is always predictable. It was predictable. It was predictable. It was predictable. It was predictable. And I wanted to pull up the definition of predictability. I wanted to go all into it, but I'm going to skip that. But the thing that I loved most about the Royal Rumble was that it served its purpose and it has people talking good and bad. So, with that said, let's start off with the men's Royal Rumble. As soon as they opened this match up, I think we could agree, and I think we've all said it in our watch along, was that this was probably going to be Cody's night. They opened it first, right off the bat, and Gunther comes out number one. Gunther comes out number one and has a hellacious match. Now, we didn't get a whole lot of, special appearances. We didn't get a Cardona. We didn't get, RKO. We didn't get Riddle. We didn't get anybody coming from anywhere else, Jay White or any of these people. But we got a lot of fun matches. And I think the biggest surprise was probably Logan Paul. And he had a great appearance. Logan Paul had a pretty good night. He had a great spot with Ricochet where they jumped from side to side on the ropes and collided. I think they were supposed to double clothesline each other, but I think they ended up just bumping chests. It looked vicious. They fell hard. The crowd reacted big time. And then Logan Paul eliminated Seth Rollins, which we'll get into as well, if this is going to lead to a Mania match. So Logan Paul had a good night. Lesnar, I think, was a huge surprise that Brock Lesnar came out in the first time ever. He lasted about, I don't know, as long as he does with Sable, like 50 seconds in that Royal Rumble match. He got eliminated pretty quickly. So that was kind of a big shock. Dom had a pretty good night, survived for quite a while. He was in the top four. I forgot to write down the top four, but he was close to 5 or 4. Dominic Mysterio was Dom. But I think the highlight of Dom's night was that Rey Mysterio was supposed to come in at number 17, I believe. Doesn't come out. Dom comes out next with his mask, proceeds to try to rip it, and cannot rip the mask. That might have been my highlight of the men's Rumble. He kept trying, and you got to give it to Dom that he didn't give up. He continued to try to rip that. Even he got around the ring. He wouldn't enter. He was like trying to rip it.
It was a long ramp to get down to the ring. And and eventually the cameras just cut away. They're like, okay, forget it. He's not getting this mask ripped.
Bro, cut it like Hogan did with the shirts. Like, what are you doing, dude? Cut that mask beforehand, rip it apart. It was good. But at the end, we got Gunther versus Cody. It really reminded me, I don't know if you remember Shooting Star, when it was Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, the last two at one point when Undertaker won and Shawn Michaels was eliminated second to last. And it reminded me of the same thing. And I think overall, Cody was the right person to win. He needs to win. Secondly, even with Gunther losing, this was a star-making moment for him. 100%. And I think he is going to blow up more so than he has been as the IC title. So overall, the excitement wasn't there, but Triple H booked this correctly. It was done right. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember during the watch along, I kept saying things like, this match is not very good. It's not very exciting. It's been kind of lackluster so far. It's been kind of meh or mid or whatever the kids are saying these days. But I watched it again. I watched it without our commentary, and watched it with the actual WWE commentary, and watched the spots and watched everything. And it was actually better than I thought it was. It was really good. It was one of those things I probably appreciated it more the second time around.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. It was, what they did with Gunther, where, having him finish in the final two when coming in at number one. He is a star. He is a star in the making. They're gonna do some big things with him. And the cool thing about that too is him doing that has elevated the Intercontinental Championship to greater heights than it already was before. And that's what we all wanted when Triple H took over, was bring back prestige to the US and the Intercontinental Championship. And Gunther is doing that, and his performance in the Rumble, even though he didn't win, it brought even more prestige back to the Intercontinental title. It makes that title feel even more important. Dominic lasting, he was in the final five.
That's right.
I just Googled it. Yeah, it was Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Gunther, and Cody Rhodes. They were the final four. But Dominic was the last member of Judgment Day standing too. And I think they've got big plans for Dominic this year. And I think him lasting as long as he did in the Rumble, speaks volumes. He's been getting a lot of pinfall victories in WWE recently as well. I think he's getting better. He's still that chicken shit heel, which is great. And he's getting better in the ring. And I think he's getting a little bit more confident in himself too. So excited to see what they do with Dominic going forward. Obviously, I think it's leading to matches with Ray. And Finn Balor or Edge was another surprise in the Rumble, and he was the one that I was surprised that when Judgment Day, I think he was eliminated by Judgment Day, wasn't he? Wasn't it?
Yeah, illegally. Yeah, remember.
That's right.
Said, how can you always come back?
Yeah. That's always a pet peeve of mine when they got eliminated, and then Edge came into the ring, and then they pulled the ropes and caused him to be eliminated, and nobody else eliminated Edge. There was no clothesline that led to it. It was just they pulled the ropes and Edge came over, and Edge is eliminated by people who aren't in the match. So it did not make any sense, but it led to the return of Beth Phoenix. So there was a lot of surprises. Don't forget about the Booker T surprise, which we don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. But there was a lot of surprises, even though there weren't a lot of surprises. If that makes sense, I think we all wanted Beth Phoenix to come back, and I think I said she was going to enter the Men's Rumble. She didn't quite enter the Men's Rumble, but she made her presence known on Rhea Ripley. It led to a breakup Adam Pearce coming out with his cronies to break up the brawl between Judgment Day and Edge. So. Yeah, I think there were a lot of exciting things. And of course, Cody Rhodes coming out at number 30. The pop he got was fantastic. And yeah, I think he was the right person to win. It was, as much as I was in the corner of Sami Zayn should win if the Rumble goes on last. I think we both said that. Cody Rhodes winning was the right decision.
I agree. So here's the thing. Okay. We talked about this in the world of wrestling. WWE is split, right? About should Cody have been a surprise or not, right? This is like split like our country, right? 50-50. It was like divided. What are we, you boo or yay or whatever else. But hold on, Patrick Anthony. No DQ in Royal Rumble. Lots of people have been true. There was times too where people have been eliminated, literally slid into the ring, got back into the match, and just eliminated fools and left. So yes, I know. But it doesn't mean it ever makes sense. I always think
Macho Man did that apparently, didn't he? Like eliminated himself. So
I think he jumped over. But it's split, right? So with that said, should Cody, since he wasn't a surprise, why did he still go 30? Because to me, why not have him come number 2, have Gunther 1 so he can still do his thing, have Cody number 2, have them both be the final 2. I think that would have felt a little bit more important. I think I'm just still boggled at the fact that if you wanted him to come out 30 and win, have him be a surprise. The pop was good. I've heard people say, well, the ratings wouldn't have been as great. That's a lie. That was a sold out show no matter what. People still, the same amount of people would have tuned in either way because they would have been wondering if it was a surprise. People weren't tuning in just because of Cody Rhodes because he was called into the Royal Rumble. That wasn't the fact. So I think if you were going to not have him be a surprise, have him go a different number. Shoot, you don't have to have him go 2 with my theory. You can have him go anywhere. But I didn't like that he wasn't a surprise and he was still number 30. Am I off? Is it petty? Should I just get over it? I mean, I'm not saying it ruined the Rumble for me, but
I think you're right. I wish that and Santi talked about this when he was on with us a couple weeks ago. Everyone go listen to that episode, Santi from Straight Shoot Podcast. But he brought up a good point. How about just do nothing with Cody Rhodes? Don't do any vignettes. Don't do any interviews. Have radio silence regarding Cody Rhodes. Maybe leak a couple of misinformation to the dirt sheets and have them run with it that Cody has suffered a setback and will not be at the Rumble. And then somebody, whoever, and whenever that pop hits or whenever that music hits, that pop would have been even way more insane than it was, and it would have been a huge surprise at number 30. I think. I don't think I'm not saying Cody shouldn't have won. I just think it should have been more of a surprise, especially when we knew after 29 came in, we knew who number 30 was going to be because he wasn't in the ring yet. Process of elimination. We knew it was going to be Cody Rhodes. And I agree. I think it should have been a surprise.
Yeah, and I don't think it took away from anything, but still, I think it just would have worked better that way. Something to remember by. All right, so the next 2 matches, I'm going to combine into one, and we can discuss them quickly. They were my 2 duds of the night. I rewatched them, and they were still my 2 duds of the night. As you said with the Men's Rumble, the second time watching it, I appreciated it more. These 2 matches, the second time I watched it, I liked them even less. So I don't know if that's possible. Number 1, LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. They had a voodoo neon
It was
pitch black, Mountain Dew,
a
pitch dark.
glow in the it was a glow in the dark street fight is what it was.
I don't know, but the highlight of the match was Homeboy's Bray Wyatt's face after they turned the lights off. He black lighted himself, so he looked cool. Other than that, that match was atrocious. I was talking about LA Knight being treated like garbage the whole buildup, and everybody, I got so much flack on my TikToks telling me I was wrong. I'm an idiot. People told me, do you even watch wrestling? You have any idea what you're talking about? You have no idea what booking is. You're a freaking moron. Yeah, I want to see all these people now. You're lucky I'm a nice guy, because I could have just got all those receipts after this match. But basically, this was a squash match. It was what, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. This was a squash match, 100%. And to end it on a squash match, they had Uncle Howdy, who the last time we saw him with Bray Wyatt was beating him up. Now all of a sudden he's Team Bray Wyatt, and he does an elbow drop through a table, which misses embarrassingly. And then the fireworks shoot off. Bad timing, embarrassingly. I have no idea what the heck is with this match. They have everyone from the Firefly Funhouse watching. Is the buzzer going to start wrestling? I don't know what the hell's going on. And that led us into Alexa Bliss versus Bianca, where you thought, okay, Bianca's been dominating. She's boring. I think we can all agree. Even Bianca fans now can say, okay, she needs to lose this title. She's ran its her course, right? There's nothing else. Yeah. There's nothing else. And there's nothing against Bianca. It's ran its damn course. What do they have her do? Squash Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss then gets squashed in about 5 or so minutes. Nothing happens. And then they play a dumb video where Uncle Howdy, I guess, I'm assuming pre-recorded it, because didn't he die? I don't know what the hell happened in the match before, but I guess it was a pre-record. But yeah, man, these two matches, I'm going to Men in Black myself and just erase that memory from here. So am I being too harsh?
No, I think you're right. I think the pitch black match, I felt like it was a cool concept, but all it was a glow in the dark street fight. That's all it was. And it was kind of, we needed Naomi for that. I feel like LA Knight stole Naomi's glow gimmick. Nice. That's all it was, it was just turn off the lights and you see LA Knight from far away, because he's got the green, the neon green trunks on, or the whatever color it was, yellow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the match itself was and the thing is this was Bray Wyatt's first televised match, and that's what he gave us. He's been back since October, and it fell flat for me. I didn't get it. And maybe it would have been different if they had put the Alexa Bliss match on first and then put the pitch black match after.
Would have. Yeah.
I think maybe that would have been it would have flowed more, because then you get the video of Uncle Howdy, and then you do something where he says he's coming tonight, and then that gets people excited, and then he does that spot at LA Knight. Maybe it would have been a little bit better. I don't know. It just felt, the whole pacing and the place of the matches just felt off. I did not care for it, and I'm over the Bray Wyatt stuff at the moment. I want to like Bray Wyatt. I want to get behind Bray Wyatt. I'm excited that he's back. The White Rabbit stuff was great, but this was a dud. This was a huge dud for me, and both matches. Even I'm over, like, when is Alexa Bliss going to come join Bray Wyatt? Is she going to join Bray Wyatt? What is going on? And I know we all want long-term storytelling in the WWE, and we sound like fickle fans when we get long-term stories, but here we are complaining about how long a story is taking. But this just feels, I don't know. There's some, when you're watching a movie, you're watching a 2-hour movie, and if you don't like the movie, you turn it off. That's kind of how I feel right now with Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. I'm just ready to turn it off and change the channel to something else.
I agree. And I'm starting to think that this Bray Wyatt character and his, weird little voodoo witch thing is just not working. It just doesn't work for WWE. We blamed it on Vince. Now who are we blaming it on? And LA Knight, will he be saved? People are saying that it's okay. He's so talented, he can take it. I get he's talented. Yeah. I like him. Yeah. I think he's awesome. Yeah. I like his tight pants. Yeah. But he ain't that over. He ain't a guy that is so protected that bad booking can save him. So I'm curious on where we're going with him next. But with that said, we went to the Women's Rumble, right? Right after this, I like that the Women's Rumble went after the Men's Rumble. I think that feels a little important, right? I think that's better. They didn't have to do it. I dig it. And we got Rhea Ripley coming out at number 1. And I know everybody said this was so predictable, but I guarantee you that when she came out number 1, a lot of people thought, oh shit, she's not winning. Who's going to win? I mean, they keep teasing Beth Phoenix. So a lot of us thought she would enter and come out. So many different scenarios of what we thought. Maybe Charlotte Flair is going to come out and win it and want to be belt champ and yada, yada, yada. But it ended up being a clean victory for Rhea. She went number 1. She ran the boat, first woman to ever do it. Congrats to her. She deserves it. She is by far the most over female in wrestling today. I'm talking all of wrestling. I dug that she won. I liked the end with her and Liv being the last two, because Liv was running her mouth. That spot where she scissored her, yeah, at the end and threw her out was awesome. I dug it all with Asuka blowing the mist in the face. Asuka came back, which was fun. Seeing new Asuka, I didn't like that she was still kind of like jokey though. She was still kind of, look at me, I'm Asuka. But I love the new, or her old gimmick coming back. I'm digging it. Hopefully they run with that. I like that all the guest appearances, minus one, which we'll discuss, but all the guest appearances were mostly NXT women. I love that. Build that NXT women's division, show it off. They have a phenomenal division. I'm glad they did. They even had their champ come out. Roxanne Perez was there. It was good stuff. Patrick Anthony is throwing it out here. I was full on board with the Bray Wyatt experience until this event. I agree. And I think that's a lot of us. I think the fans who are still sticking with it are just because they just love Bray so much they don't want to give up, which more power to them. I respect that, but it's a failed experience right now, in my opinion. It's failing. But yeah, man, the women. I'm trying to think of anything else. Nia Jax came back. I think the whole world groaned. Nothing against her. I don't want to take. It's like the same thing I said about Braun Strowman. They brought him back. I said, why? I don't want to take food out of someone's mouth and not have them have a job. I'm all for Nia Jax having a job and a career, but she just doesn't do it for me. I've never liked the stuff she puts on social media. I don't like that she injures people. I don't really like her in the ring. She's not good on the mic. I see nothing in her. That was a really bad call for Triple H. Hopefully it was just a one-time deal. He just signed her for that night just to start a ruckus and get some cameras on WWE and some people paying attention. But other than that, Women's Rumble, I thought overall was pretty good. I thought they did their damn thing.
Yeah, I thought there were some questionable moments, like Chelsea Green coming out, being the big surprise, and then getting eliminated. And
glad you brought that up. Yeah,
4 seconds or however long it was. She was. I mean, I don't know. That kind of bothered me a little bit. I think that's probably one of your biggest returners, and that's the kind of love you give her in her big return. And it just goes back to my theory that Triple H doesn't know how to bring people back sometimes. And, he brings people back just to have them lose. And, here's another one that didn't even make it into the match before she was officially eliminated. And, the thing about Nia Jax is I don't have a problem with her. I know that she does have a history of injuring people, and she is a little rough and tough in the ring. And I get that, but to bring her out at number 30, that was just, I didn't think they needed to do that. If you were going to bring her out, I think they should have brought her out at maybe 15 or 20 or something as one of the surprises. And I think maybe it would have gone over a little bit better, but to save her for the 30th spot, I thought that was a bad take from the WWE. But I also thought they missed an opportunity to have a showdown between a new returning Piper Niven and Nia Jax. I wish they could have had like a face-to-face stare down or something, setting up a match at Mania or something. I don't know, but Piper Niven is back. She's no longer Dewdrop, so
which is awesome.
I'm glad to see that she's back, and hopefully she gets a good push because she did well in the Rumble. But yeah, the final four was Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Nikki Cross too. Nikki Cross had a really good outing in the Rumble too. So yeah, I thought the women's match to me was better than the men's match. And I think it was because of the NXT people, some of the surprises that they had. It was a little bit more unpredictable, especially with Rhea Ripley coming out at number 1. I admit when she came out at number 1, I did not think she was going to win the Rumble anymore. But then, she did it. She pulled it off. And kudos to Liv Morgan too for being number 2 and lasting that long as well. And I know the press conference after the show is, guys and girls aren't really in character, but I really like that Rhea Ripley who wasn't in character at that press conference, paid respect to Liv Morgan in the press conference to say, Liv deserves some credit too. She lasted just as long as I did. I just eliminated her. I just happened to keep my feet in the ring longer than she did, but give her some props too. So it was, I think that's probably the answer to your question about why Cody Rhodes didn't enter at number 2 when Gunther entered at number 1, because that was the outcome of the women's match.
Yeah.
So.
Can't do it back to back, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you could, but I think they were trying to be different. Have one in 30 and then 1 and 2 go the distance. So
I would have rather had Liv come in 30, but yeah.
I agree.
Especially because she was saying she wanted to go first. So our time is running. So main event time, y'all. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed Universal Championship. So they have a good match. Goes on for 25 minutes or so. Really good match. I think the highlight of that match was the steps. Yeah. Roman throws KO's head against the steps. It literally looks like it hits the edge of that step. And what does Roman do? Not knowing that he did it, grabs him and does it again. Second one looked a little bit better, but damn, that looked vicious. KO never recovered. Basically, that's what happened. He banged his head up against those steps, speared him, whatever, tied him, handcuffed him up on the ropes, and put a damn beat down on him. A pretty good damn beat down. Everyone gets their shots in. It's time for Sammy to get his shots in. Basically hands him the chair. Sammy's conflicted, doesn't want to do it. Roman gets in his face, and he's giving him, slapping his face, pinching his, whatever he's doing to him. But at the same time, he's kind of still like telling him, man, we're family. Where it's not like he's just telling him, like, you're a punk, like, do this now or else. Like, he's hyping him up, like, we're here, this is us. Like, he's grabbing him. He's just giving him tough love. You know what I mean? Giving him that tough love. And as soon as he turned his back, I think Roman turned his back the first time too early, because it looked like he turned his back and kind of set himself up for it. And then came back again and was like, then he turned back around and then redid it again. That kind of made us know it happened. But holy banana farts. That chair shot was loud.
Oh my
God. The pop afterwards, it shook my damn monitor. It was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was insane. Roman sold it perfectly. Everybody sold it. I wish I could have saw Paul Heyman's reaction. Everybody sold it perfectly. Sammy, and I love the fact that Sammy did it and didn't keep it on. He hit him with that chair and then was like, damn it. Like, he didn't want to do it, but he just had to, right? He was like he was pushed to do that and to make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, it was regrettable because he just put the chair down and was like, all right. The thing I was intrigued by it was that Jimmy was the first one to put in work. Jimmy attacked him first, whooped that butt. They all started getting their lickings in. Jay doesn't want anything to do with it. Jay looks conflicted. Jay looks like, bro, I went a year not liking you, not trusting you, which built me to love you and trust you finally. And I was calling you my brothers, calling you Sammy Uso, and you just did this. He seemed so conflicted, like he put so much hate into it to then put so much love into it that he did not know how to react, and he walked out of the ring as they were just beating him down. Roman ends it with giving him his flowers, ripping apart one of those little leis, dropping it on top of him. And then there's some backstage thing that I don't think we saw in Rumble where Roman's telling Solo, this is war. This is war, Solo. Get ready. Yeah. We're at war now. I'm going to say it. I've said it a bunch of times. That was the greatest ending to anything wrestling related in the past, if not ever. It doesn't have to be ever, possibly ever, because of the build, everything we got. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you to everybody, KO, everyone involved. That was magic. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
I've probably, every time I watch that, I get chills on my arms.
And they're multiplying.
It's so well done. It's so just damn good. I mean, everybody got a chance to shine in that. You got to see Jey Uso, and where did we go from here with him? Sami Zayn had his moment. KO, of course, was the crash test dummy in that whole thing. And even Jimmy got his moment. And like you said, he was the first to attack him after Sami hit him with the chair. And Sami and Jimmy were tight. They were probably the tightest of the bloodline. And then of course Roman did his thing and Solo did his thing, and it was just a magical moment. And this whole thing. I don't remember the last time I was this captivated or intrigued or excited about a storyline in the WWE or in wrestling in general. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I mean, maybe the CM Punk pipe bomb promo in 2011 when, I was curious to see what was going to happen next, and when he won the title at Money in the Bank, and then what was going to happen, with the WWE Championship after that, and then they brought him back a week later, which didn't make any sense. But or maybe the Daniel Bryan. I'm trying to think of just moments of in WWE where Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and then Triple H pedigreed him, and
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton cashed in Money in the Bank, and that led to his rise at WrestleMania 30 against the Authority and Orton and Batista. But I have never been this. Maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin getting hit by a car in 1999. I don't know. I've never been this captivated or excited about a WWE story in a long time. And kudos to those guys. And it was just, everything about it was well done. There was a lot of things that Roman said on that maybe you couldn't hear. Like, if it wasn't for me, you'd be doing jackass shit. Just stuff like that, which was freaking incredible. It just added to the realism of the moment. And yeah, it was so well done. And man, and that pop that Sami Zayn got, that was huge. And he may be the biggest babyface in all of wrestling right now. And I am curious to see where this goes. What happens with Sami Zayn and KO? Where do they go from here? Because KO probably can't trust Sami at the moment. What happens to Jey Uso? Where does Cody Rhodes fit into this? Is it going to be Jimmy? Are Jimmy and Jay still the tag team champions? That's another angle that we have to take from this, because Jay's done with the bloodline. Then what happens to the tag team? Is that how you take the titles off of them? I mean, there's so many ways that the story can go, and I'm here for it. I'm going to get my popcorn ready, and yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next, because it's exciting.
And with that said, well said. And with that said, we go into Monday Night Raw, where all of these answers into our questions, all of our questions will be answered. I am so excited. I blew that line, but I'm so excited to find out on Monday Night Raw where we're going with this bloodline angle.
Something.
And wah, wah.
Yeah, I waited 3 hours.
Alert.
Yeah. 3 hours. I was on the edge of my seat waiting for, it's next. Oh, wait. Okay. Why is NCIS coming on?
Why is NCIS? Oh, what a bummer. It's funny because I posted a TikTok video about this ending, and it got actually pretty good. It's got like 69,000 views or something. It's kudos to all of you for checking it out. I got a lot of hate, a lot of love on it. It's funny that even when you're positive, you get hate. But one of the funny things is that in the video I talked about, I can't wait for Monday. And so many people are writing, bro, we ain't finding out Monday. And the first one that popped up, I was like, damn it, we're not. And we didn't. So we're going to have to wait for SmackDown, spoiler alert, or I don't know. But anyway, I want to talk about the opening with Cody, because I think that was the most relatable thing to what happened at the ending, because this happened and a lot of people were saying that ruined Cody, right? Sammy's now the biggest face. Everybody's going to want Sammy to face Roman. Everybody, blah, 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 blah. Now, I still don't think Sammy can be the champ. I now, not in a sense to go against him, because I think Sammy can do anything the hell he wants to do. And I would support Sammy being a champ. I'd be all for it. I just don't think the WWE is invested in him as their number one guy, no matter how over he is. I don't think it's a me thing. Don't shoot the messenger. I think that's just a Triple H, how they feel. I think they still are going all in on Cody. And basically they confirmed it, because Cody did say in his opening promo, he opened up Raw, that he is going after the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. He did not split them, nothing like that. That was all Dave Meltzer BS that was spread around, that they were going to split these titles. But with that said, what I was intrigued by was how Cody would be reacted. Was he going to get the Daniel Bryan treatment when, back in the days when everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to wrestle for the title and it wasn't, and Batista and everybody was getting booed out of the building. It was Batista, right? Yes, Batista got booed out of the building. Nobody wanted him. It was the opposite. Cody is still, in my opinion, the top babyface. Sammy's the best story. Sammy's the best underdog. Sammy's the man we want. I'll even give you a tie, but I think Cody is still the man. That showed on this promo. He came out to a huge ovation. They were eating up his words, and he is really, really doing this right. He did a backstage conference after the Rumble where he talked about all the accolades of Roman and how beating him is going to be like beating the Michael Jordan or the LeBron James. He's praising the shit out of him. Why is he doing that? He did it in this promo too. I got to beat the greatest of all time. I got to beat it. If I'm going to win, I have to give 110. I got to give it all I can't have an off night or I lose. That's how you beat Roman. That's what you do. Build who you're going to beat. So when you beat him, that moment is even more special. So I like what he did. I like that Judgment Day interrupted. I like seeing it. I have to say, I am the biggest Dom fan. I think that's worldwide known. I've been saying it since day one. I think no one could disagree with me on that. He had an off night. He came out, kind of fumbled a couple words. He said a line before Finn finished his line, and then Finn had to then say the line, and then he repeated himself. He cut Cody off early. Cody was about to say something about his dad, and he cut him off before Cody even brought up his dad. He seemed a little nervous out there, but he did have an awesome line about prison. And where he said, you say something like that, or you do something like that, you're going to get got. And it was awesome. And then Cody finished it up, followed it up with, what are you trying to scare me straight?
Scare me straight.
Great line. It was awesome. I loved it. And that led to him and Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor later on, which we can go into. But I like the opening. What'd you think?
I liked it. I did. And, Cody is, he's back. And I'm glad to see him back. I've never been a big Cody fan, but I do think that his promo is probably the best promo I've seen of him since his return, or since his return to the WWE. Last time, not this recent time. I think this is his best promo, and the fact that he's going balls to the wall, and I got to give him credit. I mean, he took chops from Gunther in the Royal Rumble. He had that, last time we saw him, he had that massive bruise when he tore that pec, and he was at Hell in a Cell, and everyone was cringing. If you saw him after the Royal Rumble, his chest was just beat red after taking some of those massive chops. And then, the next night he's going out and wrestling Finn Balor in the main event, and they did put on a great match. So you got to give him credit for he's coming back, and he's going hardcore with his wrestling. Normally they try to ease people back into stuff, especially after a gruesome injury like that. But yeah, my one complaint, and granted, we don't know what they're doing with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. We don't know what the plan is for the Elimination Chamber. But and I don't anticipate Roman Reigns losing the title between now and WrestleMania. I don't. But I don't need WWE to tell me that. I want to be able to buy into Elimination Chamber. I want to be able to tune in for it, and for him to just go ahead and say, "Yeah, Roman Reigns, I'm coming for you." I don't know. Kind of takes it out. It should have been, if you're the champion after Chamber, or if you're the champion going into WrestleMania, I'm coming for you. But other than that, I mean, that's a minor thing. Rhea Ripley did the same thing when she cut her promo about who she's choosing. She kind of did the same thing, and makes me not want to watch SmackDown on Friday because I already know the outcome of the Women's Championship match, even though I don't think Charlotte's losing anytime soon. So it's just, little things like that just bug me. But other than that, I thought it was a good opener, a solid way to start the show. And yeah, I'm here for Cody and Roman now. I'm all in on it.
All right. Same Z's.
Yeah. And, I think the one cool thing to take away from this episode of Monday Night Raw is that the Elimination Chamber is now for the United States Championship, which, again, they're bringing prestige back to these titles. They're making them feel important, and you're having Elimination Chamber qualifying matches to compete for the U.S. Championship, and that's pretty much what the bulk of the matches were on Monday night. You had Seth Rollins and Chad Gable. Bobby Lashley was in a match. Austin Theory automatically is in there because he's the champ. So it's I think it's a good move that WWE is doing. I wasn't a fan of them having him cash in Money in the Bank on the U.S. Championship. I thought that was a dumb move, but I like what they're doing with this, making the U.S. title the sole focus of Elimination Chamber and making it for the Elimination Chamber. So curious to see what happens. There's two spots left to fill, so I'm excited to see who chooses those spots. Does Brock Lesnar fill one of them? And that's how we get the Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley match at Mania. I don't know. There's a lot of intrigue there. So
yeah.
kudos to Triple H for, again, we talked about Gunther elevating the Intercontinental Championship just by lasting as long as he did in the Royal Rumble at number one. Now he's elevating the U.S. Championship on Raw too. So
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
I liked both these Elimination Chamber announcements. The men's one, though, I agree with you fully. It's Santi, when he was on our thing, he brought, to the attention that how people like me were so upset when Theory cashed in on the U.S. title, lost, made it feel unimportant. And he said, I think it did the opposite. I think it made the U.S. title feel important. And I have agreed with them ever since. It has shown that people have cared about this U.S. title. And this is the accumulation of all of it. I mean, this is what it feels important. Not only does it feel important that it's fighting in the Elimination Chamber, which I don't think has ever been done before for the U.S. title, but at the same time, people want it. These people want to get in this match. They're fighting for it. They're cutting promos for it. We got big stars. I mean, Seth is still in it. I mean, obviously, I think Theory's going to go over and then lead on to John Cena at Mania, which I'm hoping, but it just feels big. He's cutting a good promo, and Theory cut a good promo that night, did the chicken shit thing with, Bobby Lashley and ran away after Lashley hit MVP. It's just been all good. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. Elimination Chamber should be fun. The women's one, I also dig. Rhea Ripley, which I was going to talk about next, but we can just whatever. That'll be my second thing. We'll just go into it. Rhea Ripley's promo. A lot of people got flack on it. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people said it was stupid because she didn't call out Bianca Belair because they walked by each other once and it teased it, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Who cares? That was not a tease that she can't face her later on. That could be a tease. It doesn't have to be for Mania. I dug it. The reason why I dug it is because it already has a built-in story. Yes, they faced that Mania. She got her butt whipped. Nobody wanted her to lose, and she lost. It was another Charlotte Flair wins again moment. It feels different this time. And as Charlotte Flair's dad always said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And look at that. Yeah. You got to beat the man. So how to put Rhea Ripley so over, how to get her even more over, and moreover is by beating the best in the world. Same thing. When Cody beats Roman, he's going to be so flipping over. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Charlotte Flair is the man. Sorry, Becky Lynch. And you got to beat her to do that. I'm all for it. The story's going to be great. The build-up's going to be great. The only thing I did like that she did it alone. She gave props to Dom Dom and said, I never leave without my little Dom Dom, but I needed to do this for me. They did their thing without her and acknowledged it. So they're not breaking up. They're just saying, hey, at this time, and they were together the rest of the night. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm just confused now on whether is she going to be on both shows because Judgment Day is Raw, not SmackDown, or now is she going to be on SmackDown only? Where are we going with that? Because she's challenging for the SmackDown title. I bet we'll figure that out. But that led to the Elimination Chamber being winner goes to face the women's champion, Bianca Belair, at Mania. I like it. Both Elimination Chambers feel important. I dig it. It's the right call. If you're going to have an Elimination Chamber, it has to feel important, either by feud or by the result. These results are giving you something. What better way to win an Elimination Chamber than headlining WrestleMania for the women's title? We'll see who wins. They already did the top 4 in it. So Nikki Cross is in that. We got 2 more coming soon.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I said this earlier. I kind of spoiled it, but my only problem with Rhea Ripley's promo was saying, Charlotte Flair, I'm coming for you. Just because that means Sonya Deville is not winning on SmackDown on Friday.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that means but again, it's I didn't expect Charlotte to drop the title between now and Mania, but I don't need the WWE to basically tell me that. And a minor detail, but a detail nonetheless. But yeah, I'm excited about the Raw Women's Championship being an Elimination Chamber. I like what they're doing with the U.S. Championship, and I think that was the core focus of Monday Night Raw. So yeah, but one cool thing that I did like about Monday Night Raw, even though I was a little disappointed, but was the return of Rick Boogs. He's back. He is back. But I don't know if this, and we need to find like a fan of ours in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So if anybody knows anybody in Tulsa, which was the site of Monday Night Raw, let us know, because on TV, it looked like he got 0 reaction, which I was really, really bummed out about because I love Rick Boogs. But maybe he got a louder reaction in person. I don't know. Maybe it was a different thing in person, but he also kind of reminded me a little bit of Ezekiel when he came out, which, you know, I've talked about Boogs and Elias and their similarities before, but he had the little straps on his legs. He kind of had the little bands on his, like, and Ezekiel came out looking like the Macho Man when he came out the night after Raw, and he took out the Miz. But unlike Ezekiel, he actually wins matches, and Rick Boogs beat the Miz. And yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with him. But yeah, he got zero reaction, which I thought for sure he would have gotten a big reaction. And it was also weird that he came back on Monday Night Raw and not on SmackDown to be with Shinsuke Nakamura. So are they no longer a thing? Are they no longer a pairing? Are they? I don't know. But I was excitedly disappointed about that.
Dude, you love your musicians on
I do.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Rick Boo. Anyway, I don't know. He came back and I was like, oh yeah, Rick Boo. And then they said that he hadn't been back since Mania. I'm like, dude, Homeboy's been gone for a year? Oh yeah. I completely forgot about him. I gave the same reaction as the crowd did. I was like, meh. And then I literally always thought he was just created because for whatever reason, Vince didn't like Elias anymore. And so they got rid of him during that time, really. He was out finding himself in graveyards or whatever he was doing at that time. And they brought Rick Boogs in and he kind of did that. He's way too meat-headed for me. He looks like he has a bowl of steroids every morning for breakfast. He's way too big. I don't know. His long hair, he used to have long hair at work. Now he doesn't. I think he doesn't. He doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I did like the backstage, though, with both of them, with him and Elias. And I thought they were going to have, it looked like Elias had beef, but then he did a compliment. And I don't know if he delivered the compliment wrong, because Montez Ford was like, oh, damn, like, don't do him like hater. That. Yeah. And I was like, wait, huh?
What did he say? Yeah.
He said something about him being cool. And then he was like,
he was like, you have all the potential to be a great artist.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, what a brutal insult. I don't know.
I don't know if it was, like I said, I don't know if he delivered the wrong line and he was going to do a second line, and Montez, everybody seemed off on Monday Night. Monday Night Raw seemed off. It like they blew their load on Royal Rumble and then just kind of like lost it. But I'm all for people returning. I don't know what he's going to do, where they're going to put him.
I do think if Boogs had come back at the Royal Rumble, he would have gotten a huge pop. I really think.
Do you?
People would have been excited.
Yeah, because people want returns, and especially if he would have done the guitar.
Yeah,
I mean, he plays a better guitar than Elias, so
he does. Yeah, but when he came out to no reaction, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is not going to bode well for him in the long run.
He got that X-Pac heat. It was like cricket.
Yeah, it was just weird that he was on SmackDown or on Raw and not on SmackDown with Shinsuke. And to answer your question earlier about, you know, the Judgment Day, where do they go? They go Raw or SmackDown. Don't forget that Ray's on SmackDown too, and
that's what I was.
Judgment Day beat up Ray before the Royal Rumble. So
allegedly, bro.
Allegedly. There's no video footage. Right? Yeah, no. You're according to Dom. Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty. So
yeah, people like you, they gonna get got, bro. You better watch it. You better watch it. Yeah, and I really quick before we go to NXT, we're about to go to NXT. I just wanted to say we don't have to go into it because I already did my two. But Bayley cut a promo. It was damn fire.
Yes.
And finally, the crowd reacted to her promo. It's about damn time. Damage control felt important on Raw. I think that was the biggest positive out of it all. But yeah, those lines about Seth only being with her because he knocked her up was awesome. But yeah, so NXT time, my friend. NXT, and I think we'll just do one each on NXT, and then we have a NXT. Not a pay-per-view. I got to learn how to call it by its real name now. It's no longer a premium live event. I got to get that pay-per-view out of my Vengeance Day. The premium live event for NXT is this Saturday. I want to go into the Roxanne Perez and Toxic Attraction promo. I thought it was kind of cool. I dug it. So basically what happened was that they were cutting a promo, Toxic Attraction on one screen, like us, Roxanne Perez on the other one, and Toxic Attraction just bullied her, right? They called her names, picked on her. Roxanne Perez was like, oh, stop, and tried to get words in, and they just kept bullying her and bullying her. So she like pouted and was like, and like left. And the announcer was like, how dare you girls? This is wrestling. You have to be nice at all times. And they were like, no, we don't. We'll do whatever we want. We're Toxic Attraction. And I was kind of like, oh man, they're straight punking Roxanne Perez. And all of a sudden she runs in a shot and beats the bananas out of both of them. They get into a huge scrap. The funniest part was that they got pulled apart and Roxanne Perez was still like swinging, but there was nobody there. It was hilarious. I loved it all. It was wild. Toxic Attraction also it's looking like, once again, they're having someone's got to win, right? And we'll go into that with our predictions, but you both can't pin her. So I did like it. I thought it set up the match nicely. Yeah, I'm all promos on all of this. All I did was like promo. I don't think I actually watched wrestling this week on WWE. I just like promos. But yeah, it was good stuff to me. So what'd you think of it?
Yeah, I like the Toxic Attraction living their gimmick and bullying their opposition, and then kudos to Roxanne Perez for not. I mean, she did walk away. That's what you always do when you're being bullied. Just walk away. That's what I always tell my kids. If anybody ever bullies you, just be the bigger person and walk away. And then she came back and beat them down, so which I thought was pretty awesome too. So it led to a nice little fight there, and yeah, I'm excited about the match, and I'm curious to see what they do with it, who gets the pinfall, if Roxanne Perez beats, if she wins, or who wins and who gets the pinfall in Toxic Attraction. So I'm curious to see what happens with it. So yeah, they did just enough to buy me into this match, because at first last week I was like, okay, this is kind of stupid. Like Toxic Attractions beefing with each other, and then they turn on each other, or turns out it was all a ruse, and they ganged up on Roxanne Perez, and I was just like, okay, that was all for naught. And then this week it actually bought me into the match, and so I'm excited about it now.
Yep.
The main event is what I want to talk about. The Dyad versus Malik Blade and Idris Enofi and Chase U. Why did the Dyad not win? You have been building Schism to be this unstoppable faction in NXT, this faction that's finally starting to come to its own. You have Joe Gacy in there, who's an unbelievable talent, and you have the Rock's daughter in there doing her thing, and you finally have this group looking like a cohesive unit, and you have Chase U advance to, in the New Day Invitational of all things, advance to Vengeance Day 2023 to compete for the tag team championships. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe they don't want Schism taking a pinfall loss on a premium live event. Maybe that will hurt them even more. So they're going to have Chase U take it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I thought the wrong team won, and I was now I don't even know if Schism is on the card at all for Vengeance Day. So I don't know. I'm excited about the tag team match, but I think that I think that the wrong team won, especially because earlier in the night they're talking about getting revenge on NXT for keeping them away from the tag team championships for too long, and now you're going to keep them away from them even longer. It just, I don't understand. I don't get why they did it, and it made no sense.
I agree. Here's the thing. I like Chase U. Chase U. Since I've been watching NXT. No. Since I've been watching it, that Chase U is like. I feel like they're the hugest part of NXT, right? They always have the Chase U section because they're like the college section. So there's always people with Chase U shirts on. They always have promos. They're on every single one. And Andre Chase, he's been a part of NXT forever. So they never win though, right? They're like the biggest part. And you always just feel like, why are these people always in the crowd cheering on these losers, right? They don't ever win. What's the point? They got Homeboy added into their crew. They feel a little bit more alive. They finally got a win. Let's see what they do in the tag team. We can do the predictions later, but I like them getting the win. You could have had Schism not take the pin. Why couldn't the other tag team took the? Who cares about these other guys? Nobody else does. Why not have them take? It was really, really weird. Schism, when Ava Raine debuted, is fire. Still one of my hottest TikToks I've ever posted. Ava Raine pulling that mask off, felt important. They were building them. They came out with fire shirts. And the last month, it's been nothing. They're not talked about. They come in a backstage promo, maybe, or maybe they're not there. I don't get it. Ava Raine even hit the ropes, so she even tried to cheat, and they still lost. It just seemed very stupid. Where I agree with you. Where the hell are we going with Schism? Why even have them feel important if they're not going to be important? I just thought if Chase U was going to win, because you don't want Schism to lose on a premium live event, then don't have them take the pin. They didn't have to take the L.
Or just don't put them in that match. Have them interfere in the tag team match, and say like you're next or something. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. There's something you can do. You can bring them onto the show without having them lose. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're trying to build Schism into this dominant faction, and
Yeah.
you're kind of giving them the damage control treatment where they're losing all the time and they're starting to lose their luster for and I don't like that, because
Yeah.
I think all four of those people in that group are super talented. I think they could all four do great things on their own, and they should be all dominating together. And yeah, I don't understand what the end goal is, but Shawn Michaels is a smarter man than I am, and he knows wrestling
Damn right.
he knows wrestling a lot better than I do, so I'm sure he's got a plan in place, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I think Schism should be in this tag team championship match and not Chase U. But that's
and how smart is he? Because that last premium live event was trash.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's true.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's time for our segment. What time is it, Shooting Star Press, Mr. Honorary Dude?
It is prediction time. That's right.
Yeah, and as always,
really do got to get an honorary dude shirt.
We're gonna make one. I'm gonna make one. We're gonna figure it out. Honorary dude. We're gonna start off. We're gonna do our predictions. I'll say the match as always. Shooting Star Press will go first. Gentlemen first, as always. But we'll start with Carmelo Hayes versus Apollo Crews. 2 out of 3 falls. Who wins? How many falls do they win by? We'll go with there, and let's see how good we do. I feel like our predictions, we're always missing, man. Predictions.
Yeah.
Wrestling's so predictable, but whenever you look at people's predictions, they're always so off,
always
right?
way off. Yeah.
So let's see. What have you?
I think Carmelo Hayes wins, and I think every 2 out of 3 falls match always goes 3 falls. So it's going to go 3 falls. It's going to be 2-1, but Carmelo Hayes is going to get the win.
All right, order, go. How does it go?
Apollo Crews gets the first one, and then Carmelo Hayes gets the next 2.
Next 2? All right. I got Carmelo winning as well. 2 falls to 1 as well. I would love a 2-0, but that'll never happen.
Yeah, that'll never ever happen. I would love to see it.
I think we're going to start with Carmelo, then go into Apollo, and then Apollo is going to have him pinned somehow, and Carmelo will reverse it and get the last one to sneak in a victory. Carmelo has to win. Apollo Crews should be here to build talent, not take away from them. And I think it's time for Carmelo to move on to bigger and better things. So same page there. Fatal 4-way for the NXT Tag Team titles. This is your match right here. So we got Chase U versus Gallus versus Pretty Deadly versus the New Day. All right, so this is a fatal 4-way, which means you have to be eliminated, right?
Yes.
That's not the one where, or is this, how does this work? Sorry, I always forget.
I think you just, and it's not an
No, it's the first one to pin. It's not an elimination. Fatal 4-way, whoever gets pinned, right? So you don't have to take an L here. Okay, so who do you got? Oh, you even have the Chase U in there for all the people in Radio Land. Our little thing on the bottom.
Yeah, we have
bringing it.
Yeah, we have our words on the screen, so we're prepared. I think the New Day loses. I don't think, and also one thing we forgot to talk about in the Royal Rumble was Cody Rhodes. Kofi Kingston took a nasty bump, and that it looked like I hate the word botched, but it looked like he botched the spot of the Royal Rumble save that Kofi always does, and took a nasty bump. And is he healthy? Is he ready to go? I mean, I don't know if he was technically eliminated because he had 1 foot on the chair, but he never came back into the match. So I'm guessing he's eliminated.
Him versus Ray on SmackDown.
Yeah, versus Cody at elimination. Yeah, a triple threat to determine the Royal Rumble winner. But no, yeah. So it makes me wonder how healthy Kofi Kingston really is, and that makes me think that New Day was probably, if his injury is serious, New Day's probably going to lose the tag team championship. I think they were going to lose them anyway, but I think they're going to lose it. And I think, I don't know, this tag team division in NXT is pretty deep, and any of these teams can win. And I think NXT may have the best tag division of Raw or SmackDown. I'm going to go with Chase U. I feel like they've been building them lately. They started off losing a lot. Now they're building them up and they're starting to win. They're kind of the underdog team. They have the Chase U section like we just talked about. So, yeah, I'm going to say Chase U is going to get the victory.
All right, all right. I don't know how we forgot about the botch by Kofi Kingston. Also, people got to remember too, if you say something's a botch, it's not a bad thing. It's just the
Yeah,
way it's
I
called
just
when you. I know, no, it's because the internet makes it about
yeah,
like, oh, you said botch, that's rude.
you should do it. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
never
boo
done it.
hoo.
Yeah,
You don't know
you
how to
go do it.
wrestle. Well,
Yeah,
but yeah, botches are botches, man. It's just a way of
yeah,
saying you attempted to do a move and you messed it up. No one was dogging Kofi for it, but the fact that I want to know what he thought. Like before the show, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get thrown out." And you know those chairs that have wheels that move? Like if you
yeah.
ever try to stand on
This one
one,
won't
if
move.
you just
Yeah,
stand on one, you eat it. I'm gonna like fly over the ring, land in that chair perfectly, and I'm gonna be okay. No, instead the chair did what the chair was gonna do, and he smacked his head on that announce. It was brutal. And yeah, he didn't get another leg down. Eventually he did once he woke up from his concussion. It looked like he was knocked out. It looked bad. Um, but he seemed fine. He cut a promo on NXT, so he seems all right. But I thought they were going to lose either way. I'm going with you. Chase U all day, every day. I think it's going to lead to one of these Chase U dudes betraying each other at the end after they win the tag team belts. But yeah, let's go Chase U, my man. Chase U.
yes, sir. Let's do it.
Next up, NXT Women's Tag Team Title match. We got Henley and James versus Chance and Carter. I'm going. What are you doing? Let's go. Let's go, my man. Who do you think? They had a promo backstage too, so at NXT.
Yeah, I'm going Henley and James. I think they're going. Yeah,
Oh,
I think they're going to do it. I think yeah.
that's gonna be your surprise of the night.
That's my surprise. Yep.
All right. I mean, you got to have one, right? I feel like. I like that because, but Henley and James, that backstage promo, all they do is bicker. If they have them win, are they gonna have them like be a bickering tag team? The thing is that I like Chance and Carter. I do. They're good, but they're probably the most unforgettable NXT women's tag team ever. And they're the longest reigning, I guess. I thought Toxic Attraction was. I don't know how they passed up Toxic Attraction, but they've had the belts, I guess, for a long time. I don't even remember. They're just like the most unforgettable tag team champions, but I'm going to go with them retaining. So that's the first one we will disagree with. I just think Henley and James are bound to feud. I mean, they could win and still feud, but let's go into a match which I'm surprised we didn't talk about. NXT North American title match between Dijak and Wes Lee. Who you got?
Oh man, I like how they've been doing both of these guys. This is the one of a few things that they have gotten right in NXT with build and everything. I like how they're doing Dijak. I like Wes Lee. Oh man! First of all, can we talk about that promo that Von Wagner cut on where he just is like, "Hey, Dijak, take your sunglasses off. We're inside." Like, yeah, what a zinger! That really, I mean, that's promo of the year material right there. Like,
he must have learned it from Elias. Yo,
yeah,
man, you probably will make a really good artist.
Hey, yeah, why you don't be hating? Oh, like, what the heck was that? I mean, that was. I remember that watching NXT and I was like, what the heck kind of line is that? That's a zinger right there. That's like the Mighty Ducks 2 where they're trying to teach Ken Wu how to trash talk. And he's like, hey, number 5, you don't play all that good. It's just a bad line. But as far as the match itself, I think they've been building. I'm torn on this one because Wes Lee's been phenomenal as NXT North American champion, but I think they've been building Dijak to be this up and comer, and I think he's going to take it from him. So I think we're going to have 2 title changes at NXT, and I think Dijak is going to take the belt off of Wes Lee.
All right, so
I think it's time.
Yeah, so Wes Lee, Dijak. Okay, here's the thing. They have been building these guys up well. I agree. Dijak, especially Wes Lee, he got the Shawn Michaels rub and this and that.
Yeah.
But Dijak I don't know what it is. He's too Terminator for me.
Yeah.
Like the way he walks, the way he's dressed, the way he talks. I will defeat you.
I know now why you cry.
Yes. I understand from future I come from. He's just like, I don't know. I don't like him. No offense. I think everybody else who does, more power to you. To each its own. We all like different people. I ain't digging it. That doesn't mean if he wins or not. But Wes Lee, was it just me? Because, other than homeboy Wagner coming out, dude, what a waste Wagner is right now. God, they might as well just let him go. But Wes Lee came out and started off his promo, and I felt like the crowd gave two shits about him. It was really, I don't know if only I noticed that. It
Yeah,
looked like
I
he got
noticed.
and he even like said a line and the crowd didn't react, so he like said it again. It was something about like NC. Was he talking about North Carolina? I forgot what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
because
And he
he's in
was like,
Charlotte. Yeah,
Charlotte, yeah. And he was like, no, the doop. And then like the crowd didn't react again. And then he just like kept on with this. It just felt like the crowd was like meh to him. And I know they're pushing him right, but he hasn't really had that like star making moment yet, which makes me think he should still win because I think they want him to have that star making moment.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Wesley. I'm gonna go Wesley retains against the Terminator, and it'll change the future forever.
John Connor.
All right, yes. Triple threat for the NXT Women's Title. We got Toxic Attraction versus Roxanne Perez, our JC Jane, and Gigi Dolan versus Roxanne Perez. Who you got? Is this a simple one?
I think it's too early to take the belt off of Roxanne Perez, so I think she's going to retain. I don't know who she's going to pin in Toxic Attraction, but I think she's going to retain. I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch, but she's going to retain.
All right. I agree. I think there's no chance Roxanne loses. I would love for a Mandy Rose return.
Yes, I would love that too.
I don't think it's going to happen. I know I was hyping it. I don't think it's going to happen. Not now. What I'm afraid of is that we're going to obviously have that point where Roxanne gets pinned by both of them. They're going to like pull each other off right after taking turns beating her up. The downfall is going to be Toxic Attraction. They'll beat themselves, obviously. Is it going to lead to them breaking up? Is Toxic Attraction now officially done? Was this like their goodbye since Mandy left unexpectedly? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going no title change again, which leads us to the main event. Grayson Waller versus the champ, Mr. Bark Braun Breaker, in a steel cage match, because this is one thing a steel cage does. It keeps people out of it because there is no roof. So
that's right. Just ask Becky Lynch.
Yeah. So while Becky Lynch, you can get beat up beforehand and the match just gets disqualified because there's no
of course.
DQ.
Yeah.
But who you got, my man? Who you got?
Oh man. I love Grayson Waller. And I've been thinking it's way past time to take the belt off of Braun Breaker. But I don't think Grayson Waller's ready to be NXT champion. So I think Braun Breaker is going to retain.
You got Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm over Braun Breaker. I'm ready for him to drop the title and go on to other things. But my fear is that he's going to drop the title and go to the main roster. And I don't think he's ready for that. I don't know if he's necessarily ready to go to that main roster. Especially right now with Mania season right around the corner. So that's why I think he's going to retain and continue his path in NXT.
See, this is a hard one for me because I agree that NXT event before Mania, which I'm going to, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like needs Braun Breaker. That should be the moment that he drops the title, and it should be to Carmelo Hayes. They're pushing Grayson Waller so hard. But I think I wanted the title change to be here, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we get Grayson Waller versus Carmelo. I don't think it feels that's important. I'm going to go with Braun retains. We get Braun versus Carmelo at the big card before WrestleMania. So yes, sir. Hey, we agreed on almost all of them.
I said
see what happens.
I said Henley and James take the tag team titles, women's tag team titles. Chase U. So we're gonna maybe have 3 title change, and I picked Dijak to beat Wesley. So I predicted 3 title changes, so we'll see.
Look at you. And I predicted none. So they're like polar opposites of what we're doing here. And man, that's our segment. That's our prediction show. And man, what a week WWE had, from Rumble to a subpar Raw to NXT to now we have Vengeance, and we got SmackDown coming up, which has a lot of implications happening, and wanting to know what's going to happen with the bloodline. Is Sammy going to be there? Is Jay going to be there? Is Sammy is he going to now say he's a tag team champion because he won his last match, and they're going to have disputes, and it's going to lead to Sammy and KO versus the Usos, or Sammy and Jay versus Solo and Jimmy for the tag team titles to see who really is the champions. So many routes. Are we getting Roman and Sammy at any point? I don't think they should, because I don't think Sammy should take the L, and I don't think Roman could take the L. So there's so many routes we can go. I'm excited for it. Great week, and I'm excited for next week.
Sonya Deville in her title shot.
Oh shoot, you're right.
On SmackDown.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, that's gonna be big.
Yeah, it's we may have a title change. We won't, but
I'm pretty sure we got Sonya versus Rhea at WrestleMania. I think that's the way they're going.
That's the match everyone wants to see.
I agree.
But no, SmackDown should be good, and WWE. I know we got to wrap up, but WWE deserves a lot of credit right now for we've been fickle fans and talking about long-term stories, but everything they're doing right now is a long-term story. It seems like, you have the Judgment Day still feuding with Edge, and then you have the Judgment Day also feuding with Rey. And those are all stories that have been told for quite a while now. And then the Bloodline stuff and, the Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar stuff, it's been WWE's on fire right now, and
I agree.
They need to keep it up. And I'm excited about SmackDown.
I agree. And next Wednesday, we're going to try to predict it. I'm going to give you guys a hint of our segment. We're going to do predictions where we're going to try to predict what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber, Mania, what matches, do a book it or lose it. So tune in for that. If you want to know what we're thinking, we'll give ourselves another SmackDown and a Raw, and then we'll try to run with it. But as always, thank you to the two dudes. Wolfpack, we appreciate all y'all tuning in, checking us out, keep promoting us. As always, I'm the dude of Wrestle Talk, Mr. MWO.
And I'm the honorary dude, apparently, but SSP Shooting Star Press on TikTok. And guys, go follow us, go subscribe, go rate us and review us on Apple. Tell your friends, tell your wives, and next time come join us on one of our lives. So
yes, sir.
We're doing big things, and come with us on Friday too as we break down all things All Elite Wrestling.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right.
What's up?